We know Hanna-Barbera for their fantastic cartoons, like the Smurfs, Huckleberry Hound, the Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, Secret Squirrel, Hong Kong Phooey, Top Cat, and Yogi Bear. But did you know Hanna-Barbera also stepped in the realm of live action? And no, I'm not talking about the likes of the Scooby-Doo or the Yogi Bear movie. I'm talking about something far more primitive. Shows that are both strange and wild. Today we'll be diving into Hanna-Barbera's more experimental side. I present you the top 7 Hanna-Barbera live action shows you never knew existed.
Is it okay to eat chicken with the fingers?
No, that's bad manners. Fingers should be eaten separately.
Variety programs were shows that combined cartoons with live action segments. This was a good way to keep viewers engaged, and for networks to repackage old cartoons as new ones. You might remember Banana Splits doing this, playing either a song, a game, or a skit between each cartoon. These guys were extremely popular at one point, and trust me, I'll talk more about them later. But let's first look at their lesser-known cousin, the Skatebirds. This show came 7 years after the Splits, and starred Scooter the Penguin, Satchel the Pelican, Knock Knock the Woodpecker, and their arch-nemesis, Scat the Cat. Now, the only thing that made these guys so different from the Splits was them running their entire show without a laugh track. A bold choice, for sure.
Where do you think you're going?
Into the clubhouse. I wanna...
Where are your manners? Don't you know it is not polite to rush ahead of people?
Well, I was just gonna...
Shame on you, Scooter.
I'm sorry, your royal firstness. It'll never happen again.
Well, that's better.
Should I laugh or call an ambulance? Oh, if only there was a laugh track to tell me what to do. Now, even though these birds look pretty rad, they were stuck between some lackluster cartoons, being Wonder Wheel, Woofer and Whipper Dog Detective, and Robotic Stooges. Who in their right mind would want to see any of that garbage?
Activate robotic 100-ton caterpillar catcher.
But Mo, we don't have a 100-ton caterpillar catcher.
I know that, mophead.
Okay, maybe I would. There's not much information about these birds, that's why they're this high on the list. It kinda sucks that these guys fell so far into obscurity with their crazy designs and movements. I would have loved to see more episodes of this. Unlike the next thing on our list, that I wish I never looked at in the first place.
Because when my cipher says it's time to eat, it's time to eat.
My sensors indicate that will be a sickening experience.
Benji, Zax, and the Alien Prince. A TV show from the early 80s about an alien prince named Yubi that escapes to Earth after his home planet was taken over by Xanu, an evil dictator that wants to rule over the galaxy. Xanu is seeking the prince sends 2 of his henchmen to capture Yubi and return him back alive. Joining Prince Yubi on his adventures is a droid named Zack and a dog named Benji. Now here's a quick lesson on this pooch. Higgins, aka Benji, has been around since the early 1900s, starring in TV shows like Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, and the Beverly Hillbillies. This quadruped has grown in popularity over the years, that he later got his own movie. Not just 1, but 5. This canine is pretty impressive, being able to sneeze, steal, and scratch on command. But not even Benji can stop the blandness and emptiness this show has to offer. No joke, most of the scenes are either our heroes walking, or a Benji chasing the bad guys all over town. The script is also not good. It feels like it was written by a 5-year-old.
They appear to be headed toward town. Probably to meet up with a droid.
Now, let's take a little walk. See, I owe you a glass or 2 of spilt milk.
Well, if it's not Benji, land's sake, I haven't seen hide nor fur you in a month of Tuesdays. Thanks for saving my lunch.
There hasn't been another show that was this infuriating to watch. Where's the action, the sci-fi, the drama? For Pete's sakes, give me something.
It's just that most of the people in this town are having a pretty good laugh at my expense, and I've had just about all I could take.
I don't see anything to laugh about.
No, I'm sure you don't, Prince Yubi.
Now wait a minute.
Watch anything else on this list but this. You won't be missing out on much, that's for sure.
Now go. Without the buck. We go, but the buck is ours. Without the buck.
This is Korg 70,000 BC, a television show meant to teach kids the daily life of a caveman. Each and every episode tries to be realistic as possible, going as far to have the American Museum of Natural History and the Los Angeles County Museum of Natural History as consultants for the show. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of boring, but trust me, this show is anything but. I mean, there's so much time spent to really show how in the dark these creatures truly are. I mean, just take a look at how they respond to a solar eclipse.
No, son God, do not die and take me with you.
Bach, sure that the end is near, rushes for the shelter of the cave, but his fear robs him of his will to go on.
Yeah, I know it's kind of silly, but these guys have every right to be on edge. With the threats of tigers, lions, bears, venomous spiders, earthquakes, hunger, diseases, wolves, death, and fellow cavemen, the world of Korg is a vicious one. This is no Flintstones, that's for sure. It really is man versus nature at its finest, and that's why I really like this show. I say give it a go if you really want to see some caveman action. But yeah, speaking of the Flintstones, that brings us to the next topic on our list.
Wilma called and she said that Fred's on his way.
Well, I hope he gets here soon. Though I don't know why. You know, Fred's such a loser.
Let's face the facts. Even though Fred Flintstone is an excellent bowler, a first-class boxer, and a great singer, there's just some things wrong with the guy. I mean, for starters, he's rude to his only friend, he's not the best of husbands, and he can sometimes be a lazy bum. This guy can really stink.
Come on, Barney, higher, higher! Whee!
Color me surprised when Hanna-Barbera thought the same thing, and decided to create the Hanna-Barbera All-Star Comedy Ice Review, a roast for Fred Flintstone 48th birthday. That was accompanied by celebrity guest stars like the Silvers, the Fenton Kids, British comedy duo Coarse and Young, the Ice Capades, and even the Skatebirds. The special also consisted of other Hanna-Barbera characters participating in the show. This show was huge, to say the least. I mean, with so many performers and star power, no one can deny how popular the Flintstones truly were back in the day. Love him or hate him, Fred will forever be the face of Hanna-Barbera. Good thing too, because this guy is marketable, just like Garfield. They're about the same level, you know? You see Garfield, you see Fred, it's like, kind of the same. Kind of.
Oh no, Dexy Stone's home!
Dude, that's a rock.
Here's another variety program about a kid named Sam and his robot named Dex. The show is centered around the duo using their zany inventions to solve problems and get into hijinks. The cartoons this time around are Fender Bender 500, which is just wacky racers with other Hanna-Barbera characters, and Monster Tales, which is about Hollywood's famous monsters as pets. Monster Tales, it's alright, but I'll take Fender Bender any day, since it has the all-star cast. Plus, Fender Bender just has way better puns in my opinion.
But Yogi...
Not now, boob. I've got a king-size craving for one of this Ham Palace's hams.
But Yogi, this is Buckingham Palace.
I don't care what kind of ham I munch.
Sam and Dex are pretty boring. I mean, the basement they're in is pretty cool and the inventions are a blast from the past, but every time I see them, I'm just waiting to get back to the tunes. They're not bad or anything, there's just nothing interesting about them. They're just filler for the actual good stuff. So, what's weirder than talking robots, cavemen rituals, and birds rollerblading? Well, how about an alien that goes out of its way to shoot an orangutan and give her superpowers? Yeah, I think this is the weirdest show in this list. Going Bananas, not to be confused with the movie of the same title, is about an orangutan named Roxanne, using her newfound powers to save the world. Even though humans were the ones that captured her in the first place, she still goes out of her way to protect them all, making her the sworn hero of all mankind. You thought Dragon Ball Z had some crazy ape shit, Just wait and see what Roxanne can do. She has telekinetic powers, banana pistols, is a master of disguise, has monstrous strength, speaks multiple languages, and knows how to ride a freaking motorcycle. Why hasn't Roxanne gotten her own movie yet? She's amazing! Unfortunately, not everyone thinks this way, because Going Bananas only had 12 episodes. I guess crime fighting doesn't pay the bills, right Roxanne? This is one smooth chimp, able to beat the great James Avery himself. You know, the same James Avery that was once the Treader. Jesus Christ, is there nothing this orangutan can't do? If only she was around to meet the Korg family. Who knows what these guys could have accomplished.
It was him! Or his twin. Gene's brother was an only child.
Easy, Catman. They are serious.
And they've got guns.
Before we get to our number one pick, let's talk about the TV movie Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. This film is about the Kiss band using their superpowers to save the California amusement park from the evil inventor Abner Duvar. The movie's production was rushed to coincide with the peak of Kiss popularity, and the band were given a crash course in acting to reach the movie's deadline. As you've already guessed, that didn't go all too well.
He's convinced you did it, but the investigation's a stroke. He just wants the guy off his back.
Adding fuel to this dumpster fire was substance abuse from some of the band members, and a complete redubbing of Peter Criss's dialogue, done by voice actor Michael Bell. You might remember Michael Bell for voicing characters like Grouchy Smurf, Ezekiel Rage, and Drew Pickles. This film is nothing short of a failure for both Kiss fans and audience members alike. Even the band hated the movie for showing them in a buffoonish way, so much so they forbid anyone working for them to ever mention the film's existence in their presence. It's understandable for Kiss to do this. I mean, they're a serious band after all. It's not like they'll ever team up with the likes of Timmy Turner or Scooby-Doo. No. Not in a million years.
Daddy, I'm scared.
You don't have to be scared, honey. It's just a puppet.
In 1987, Hanna-Barbera approached world-famous puppeteers Sid and Marty Krofft and asked them to design costumes and sets for a new show that involved animals playing in a band. These two brothers are well known for their kid shows, like The Boogaloos, Lidsville, Land of the Lost, and HR Puffin' Stuff. They've also had a mature puppet show called La Pupille de Paris, which is French for The Dolls of Paris. This show had topless puppets, believe it or not.
And all the puppets, there were 240 puppets in the show. But all the girls that were in the show, it was a topless show. You had to be 21 years old to see it.
With Sid and Marty Krofft's help, the Banana Splits was born, starring Fleagle the Beagle, Bingo the Ape, Drooper the Lion, and Snorky the Elephant. This was Hanna-Barbera's very first variety program, and it became a huge hit with children. Fast forward to 2019, and we get this freaky reboot that involves killer animatronics. The Banana Split movie was created to add a new spin to this beloved franchise. What was once a show about cute, lovable creatures singing and dancing has now turned into something dark and sinister. Yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not a big fan of horror. Not by a long shot. In order to watch this movie, I needed to read the Wikipedia summary first, then watch the scariest scenes with the volumes turned off on YouTube, and finally watch the entire film with the lights on. Even the idea of watching the movie had my heart racing. But when I did finally tackle the movie, I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, the death scenes were kind of cool to watch, and some of the dialogue was pretty funny. Also, the movie had fun facts, which is always a plus.
You know, the Banana Splits was supposed to be called Banana Bunch, but there was already another movie by that name.
Actually, it was a children's book.
Actually, I'm a pretty big fan, so I think I'd know.
I say if you're into gore and animatronics, then you should definitely give this one a go. While you guys watch that film, I'll be watching Banana Splits in Hocus Park, which I've heard was far less creepy. Before you guys leave though, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more Hanna-Barbera stuff. Plus go check out Tunaphile's Twitter, he's the one that made this cool profile pic. Link down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.